What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Buyer Build. We got something a little bit different in the shop today. This is a B8.5 S4, brand new Denso coil packs, brand new NGK iridium spark plugs, and we got some OEM valve cover gaskets because we're doing the valve covers too. Oil drain plug, another gasket, man filter. So it pretty much covers it. And we got some liquid moly, 5W40. All right, step one, we have our brand new NGK iridiums. Per Jackal spec, we are going to bring these to 0.026 inch. So we have our feeler gauge and we have our spark plug gapping tool, and we're going to bring these down to 0.026 inches. Per Jackal spec, this is a performance gap because we are going to be running a performance tune from them at some point in time. Figured we'd do it right now. And if you guys are wondering what spark plug gap does, basically the tighter the gap, the more high performance your plugs will output. So think about it that way. Now we're going to move on to the engine bay. We have to remove this cold air intake. It is held in by a couple mounting bolts kind of up in the front under the front air dam. And then in the back, there's going to be a couple vacuum hoses towards the silicone coupler, and then just some regular hose clamps that you got to pop off. So the intake will come right out. Once the intake is popped off, we're going to go ahead and start pulling out the harnesses. And there's going to be some clips that you got to take off, some vacuum hoses. Basically, you got to get rid of everything in the way of the spark plug harnesses and the valve covers. So now we can go ahead and start removing the ignition coils. Be careful because the plastics on these get very brittle with age and heat. So the clips might actually break on you. Luckily, they are held in securely by Torx screws. And then once all those clips are off, you can go ahead and start removing the coil packs from the valve covers. We like to use these plastic pry tools because, again, they get brittle and they can break. So it's a lot easier than using just your fingers to try and pull them out. Small update, guys. We got the valve cover off on the passenger side. We're working on the driver's side now. Very annoying, these little ignition coil clips. They're so brittle, so you just gotta be really careful with them. And then taking the breather cover, these breather tubes off, also kind of annoying. Basically, you just want to wedge like a little flathead in there and then pull back on it to give it like a little angle, and then it should pop off after a little bit of time struggling with that. And then you can see the camshafts and everything. Valve train looks pretty healthy on this car. So only 76,000 miles. We'll just clean up the surfaces. There's no RTV needed for these valve covers. So putting it back on. And then it was this bottom left bolt, right? Clearance.
Yeah, bottom left is a pain for clearance. You got to use...
So we have one of these tiny little T30 adapters. It's like gives you the most shallow ratcheting T30 as possible. So you're probably gonna need one of those to get there. Otherwise, it's just gonna hit against like the wiring and the firewall and all that stuff. And then the other side, you have to take the coolant overflow out. So be prepared for some coolant to get all over the place. All right, so driver's side is off. We just cleaned it up as best as we can. And now we just gotta change out the gasket. So it's gonna be OEM gasket, part number ending in 83Q.
Your feeler blades.
Oh, yeah. Where were they?
They were in the drawer above where they should be.
Oh, all right.
Wow, that gasket's hard. Tread width, everything. Like a 225 to one make is different than a 225 on another make.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's just you will encounter variety between different manufacturers. Motor mount's done? Motor mount's done. Nice. Yeah, it still doesn't have a front pipe or anything.
So as you're putting this gasket on, make sure the little washer pokes through on the bolts like that. Yeah, the spark plug tubes were definitely the worst coming out. They were so hard. So good thing we're doing this. Car's 12 years old now, 76,000 miles. Imagine if I had 176,000 miles in the original.
Yeah, these things are not going to be fun when they're old.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, so now we have the passenger side. Looks like it goes the other way. The good thing is that you don't need RTV on these, so that's nice. So we just finished up the driver's side, torqued it down to 85 inch-pounds, and now we're doing the passenger side. You want to do it in a crisscross sequence like this, as shown here. And then now we're going to fill up with some oil. Just got to change out the oil filter too. And then she'll be pretty much ready to fire up.
Unfortunately, another VAG product back out on the streets. Not where it should be.
We're using Liquid Moly Gen, this good 5W40. All right, so now we're gonna do the oil filter. We grab our 36mm socket, put it on there. So when we remove this, we're gonna have to also change the gaskets on the housing itself. Just throw some towels under here to catch any oils that drip out. And we have our old filter. So we're gonna place it with our man filter and our OEM gasket rings. All right, so we got our new filter in. Make sure you change out that O-ring that sits in the housing. And then when you put the filter in, you gotta push hard until you hear it pop in. That way the filter is held sturdy in there. So we're gonna torque it down to 25 foot-pounds. All right, so we got some brand new Densos going in. You have these little nubs on the sides, so make sure it goes in the right way.
Hey, they come pre-greased. That's nice.
They look nice too.
Yeah.
All right, so we got all the ignition coils, spark plugs put back in, valve covers are all torqued down, so we're just wrapping up this job by putting the intake back in place, filling up the coolant reservoir that we had to drain out before, and that's really all set. So that's a job well done and many more happy miles to go.
Wow.